live worldwide on DAZN. It's a battle of the undefeated. Let's now welcome to the ring our main event participants. First, from Australia, Justis Huni. And now let's welcome to the ring, Fabio Wardley. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for our featured bout. It is scheduled for 12 rounds, and it will be for the vacant WBA interim heavyweight championship of the world. Brought to you by Frank Warren for Queensberry, in association with Eddie Hearn for Matchroom Boxing, Platform Sports, Tasman Fighters, and Gold Star Promotions, along with their great sponsors: Riyadh Season, 32 Red, That Prize Guy, Global Next Trade, Unibet, FlexMize Business Loans, and Bow Nutrition. A big thanks to those great sponsors. It is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control, Steward in Charge Ben Harmsworth, along with the World Boxing Association. President Gilberto Mendoza Jr., Supervisor Mariana Bodasova, Timekeeper Stephen Pucci. Our three judges assigned will be for Lynn Marsh of New Zealand, Pavel Cardini of Poland, and Bob Williams of England. Our referee in charge, third man in the ring, will be John Latham of England. And now, boxing fans joining us live worldwide, and boxing fans here in Ipswich, England. The time has arrived for the main event of the evening. Introducing first, fighting tonight out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing white with silver and weighed in officially at 248 pounds. Coming to us from Brisbane, Australia, he brings an undefeated record with 12 wins, 7 of his 12 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the highly ranked, undefeated former Australian champion and the current WBO Global and IBF Pan-Pacific heavyweight champion, Justis Huni. And his opponent across the ring in this main event, fighting tonight out of the blue corner, he comes to the ring wearing blue and white and weighed in officially at 243 pounds. Undefeated, he has 18 wins, 1 draw, 17 of his 18 wins coming by way of knockouts. Currently ranked #1 by the WBA, he is the undefeated former British, English, and Commonwealth heavyweight champion. Ladies and gentlemen, from right here, Ipswich, England, here is Fabio Wardley.
Amazing anticipation here. Super Showdown live on DAZN in the biting night air and the rain of Portman Road.
Well, that's what I expect from you, Mark. You're getting instructions all the time. Afraid to break the board, break through. Defend yourselves at all times, and the best of to your ball. Touch gloves.
Ipswich had their troubles at elite level this last season. How hard a clash will this be for their beloved Fabio Wardley. Wonderful turnout of support, but a very good man in front of him. Justis Huni, standout amateur, and like Wardley, unbeaten as a professional. Here we go, Huni in the lion's den. Wardley has not lost in 19, and 17 have finished by knockout, and that right hand that detonated on Fraser Clark is, well, it stands out in the memory.
Well, he commits to the shot, he really does, and not holding back already in this opening round is important for Huni to stay switched on, stay disciplined, don't get carried away, don't waste anything, move, stay out of trouble. Whether an early storm for Fabio, I think it's about trying to get that right hand, as we've mentioned, into play early.
Good use of the left from Huni, who needs to settle and get in the rhythm better. He's been boxing since he was a kid. He's got all that amateur pedigree. He should know his way around if he can get into this and avoid the power.
Well, we perceive Huni to be the better technical boxer here, so what he has to do is, every time Wardley makes a mistake, make him pay for it with a sharp left hook or a sharp right hand. If he misses, you've got to make him counter. And for Wardley, it's to drag Huni into that deep water as quick as you can, because he's been there before, Wardley, and Huni maybe hasn't.
Yeah, that classic first encounter last year with Fraser Clark, one of the best British fights in recent times, and then that dramatic rematch. Fabio Wardley, an unexpected hero, and the WBA #1 is for the interim belt. Of course, Alexander Usyk and Daniel Dubois fight for all the marbles on the zone in July, but this will get these guys closer.
Carries a nice high guard, Huni, but I think head movement's so important here. He can't afford to take any shots high on top of the head, on the temple. And a good body shot and a right hand.
Yeah, lovely work from Justis Huni. Wardley back behind his jab, but that combination, head to body, he's clever, Huni.
Wardley shouldn't let him that close though. I mean, Wardley trying to stay a little bit controlled here, but he's still going to be keeping that right hand, that's very active. Keep Huni in that reactive mode. Don't let him walk you down like he's sort of trying to do right now.
Wardley jabbing to the body, trying to get the guard down of Huni so he can crack in one of those huge, heavy right hands. But Huni, if he can be clever here and get into a rhythm, Darren, this will be much more in his favour.
Yeah, and the feet, very important, and we just see there how quickly he glided out of range there to avoid that overhand right. They're going to be so important. I feel like his feet have quickened up as well since the Lorena fight. He's sharpened up everything, and that's so important in this contest.
But for Huni, moving to his right, staying away from that right hand of Wardley, is going to be paramount for him.
He was hurt a few times by Kevin Lorena out in Saudi. 1 or 2 question marks about the Huni chin. But into the second round, he's unbeaten in 12. The Australian, Fabio Wardley, with 18 wins in his 19 fights. Just that one draw with Fraser Clark. Big win over David Adelaide. He's done so well, Wardley. Can he get rid of Justis Huni tonight when he was preparing for Big Baby Miller? Totally different style.
Yeah, it is, but I think, you know, the way he fights, it almost doesn't matter who he's up against, because ultimately, at the end of the day, it's going to be him dragging you into his wall that wins him the fight. The power, the swinging in with that right hand, that's his money punch. And Huni was hurt early in the Reina fight, in the second round, and in the last round, but he still won the fight. So, you know, he knows how to survive. But Huni was boxing well in that first round, and I think on the way to winning that round, and maybe that punch might have just swayed it the other way.
Jab from Wardley, again to the body.
He's doing the right thing where he's positioned in the ring, Huni. He's not getting backed up, he's allowing space behind him so he can use those quick feet to glide out of range. That's a good jab followed by a left hook from the Australian.
Yeah, decent speed from Justis Huni.
Not so much the speed as well, Adam. He punched to the chest with the jab, so he could throw that left hook over the top. Just dropping the hands of Wardley ever so slightly.
But he's got quick hands, and he moves well, Huni. It's the education he's had from a very young boy in the gyms, and around the amateur tournaments in the world that Fabio Wardley didn't have. I mean, what Wardley's done is incredible. But technically, Fraser Clark in that first fight had him in trouble a few times. He was open. There are gaps, but he's so tough and strong.
Yeah, I tell you what, though, in that first fight, he would have learned so much. You know, he realised that he had lots of attributes that you can't talk, you can't be taught, you can't buy. You know, heart, desire, will to win. But he got it right in the rematch, didn't he? With that unquestionable power with both hands.
Yep, very, very nasty knockout of Fraser Clark. Good to see Fraser back with a big win the other day as well.
He's just willing to go to that dark place very, very quickly, Wardley. That's the difference between most fighters. He wants to, but he can be hurt and he can be hit as well. With that low left hand, he invites a fast right hand over the top.
He doesn't seem worried, Huni, about the Wardley power here.
Like I say, he's doing the right thing. He's showing, you know, what he's trying to show Fabio no respect at all. Obviously, he will be. But the way he's sort of creeping forward, he's moving his head nicely, which is so important.
Here he may have a big fight lined up this summer. That would be great for Dillian White. Fabio Wardley exceeded all expectations of him when he turned professional a few years ago. Now edging towards a world title shot, but he's got to deal with this very, very confident Justis Huni, who's put a combination in there early in the third round, and Wardley takes it.
Tell you what, there was a heavy, sorry Barry, a heavy left hook to the chest of Wardley.
He felt that left hook, Wardley. I mean, that's sometimes when he's a little more dangerous, when he's hurt than when he's tired, Wardley. So he sometimes looks unsteady and he comes back with a big shot to get himself out of trouble. But you got to be careful there with that right hand a little bit low, the left hand also low. And with the fast hands of Huni, you're inviting trouble.
I like the look of Justis Huni so far. Eddie Hearn was very confident that Frank Warren's made a rare mistake. He had Wardley, of course, at Matchroom. Now under the Queensbury banner, Justis Huni is his guy. An underdog going in. But I think round by round, he'll be believing in himself here, Huni.
Yeah, he will, for sure. And look, I don't think he'll mind that he was facing a big puncher in Fabio Wardley. The reason I say that, being a natural boxer, which he is, he's an aggressive come-forward fighter, but to get that style into play, when you're fighting a big puncher, you get them to feint, you get them to load up so they tense up and they start telegraphing the shot. Then you can start countering like that. Beautiful left hook.
Wonderful work here from Justis Huni in the third round, and the crowd have gone quiet. Frank Warren just bellowing out instructions at ringside. Just a bit of a nervous look on the Queensbury promotional faces at the other side of the ring as Justis Huni has given Fabio Wardley little respect here for his punch power.
I just think he's got to tidy up defensively inside Fabio. Just keep the hands a little low. That's a good shot though.
Back combination up against the ropes and trying to free his arms for the big swings. One top on one. It's Fabio Wardley as the action hits up in the third round. And what a round here in Ipswich. Huni and Wardley going to war.
After he throws that right hand, Wardley, you got to come up with the left uppercut, right through the middle. Right hand over the top, left uppercut, puts him back on line before that straight right hand again.
Right to the head and body from Wardley, who is under pressure. Back comes Huni. Terrific action.
That was a good right hand in response from Huni. He needs to try and sustain this last 10 seconds though.
Oh, big right hand from Huni. What a round of boxing.
He took a shot and he walked back to the corner unsteady on his legs there, Fabio Wardley.
Right hand from Wardley. Oh, terrific start to the fourth, and he's going for it. It's bombs away here. Carl Frampton is brilliant.
Yeah, really good fight so far, isn't it? And I just about ate that last round to Huni, actually. I know Fabio had that wee spell where he looked like he hurt Huni, but I think the majority of the round, the better stuff was coming from Huni. I have Fabio 2-1 up at this stage, but it's already shaping up into a great fight. Fabio only knows one way to how to fight. He can't, he's not a boxer. He's a brute, and he'll try and take you out, and that's what it looks like he's trying to do. But he's in against a serious opponent here, someone who knows what he's doing, and Justis Huni. And this is going to be exciting while it lasts.
Huni's just not allowing him to be on the front foot. That's where Fabio wants to be. He wants to be the aggressor. But he's not allowing him, Huni, and that's what's making it really interesting here.
Yep, trying to back him up. Takes centre ring. Justis Huni. He's no feeling in this process. Gone straight to work. Real confidence running through the veins of the Australian, who fancies he can take Wardley out here. Wardley just defensively open, but then he fires back.
He's punching up and down there, Huni. He did it just a second ago. He jabbed it to the chest again and threw a right hand over the top. And then he's up against the ropes there, just changing the levels of the shots, and that's something that Wardley's not quite used to.
Heavyweight action, live on the zone. It's another fabulous one. Wardley and Huni.
This is speed and pedigree shining through at the minute. Classy shot selection with so much pace on the shot from Huni, and that pedigree operating at such a high level in the amateurs, and we're seeing it here.
Yeah, good defence from Justis Huni, light on his feet, right hand, and he's boxing really well here. He's coming to take his chance, and he's really going for it. Justis Huni, Wardley fires back. He might need the crowd here, Wardley, and they've gone quiet again, Darren.
I tell you what, he cleverly stayed low there, Huni, and he just sort of like made himself a real small target, but really close to Wardley, and he just couldn't let his punches go, Wardley, like he normally would.
Yeah, good work to the body. I feel he needs to trade with Huni here, Wardley. Let the shots go. As he's throwing them shots to the body, fire with the right hand over the top.
Huni's landing more here. And for me, he's winning this fight. But there's a long way to go.
But Wardley looks a bit tired, a bit jaded, doesn't he, Wardley? But then doesn't he always? And that's when I can say it again, when he sometimes does his best work. But Huni boxing's clever here, boxing nice and smart.
Look how quick the feet were there, Barry.
Blood from the nose of Justis Huni, who's got to be so switched on, so far. Fabio Wardley, who's going to become a dad anytime soon in the next few days. But he's got business to take care of here at his beloved Ipswich town in the blue and white and the long white socks. The big man from Ipswich in with the Australian Justis Huni, both undefeated. And Huni giving a great account of himself already. Wardley having some success. That chopping shot at the end of the first that seemed to trouble Huni. But I like the way Huni's shaping up here.
But that's better than for Wardley. You've got to be the stalker. He really has. Even though he's up against a guy which he's not used to, with fast feet and fast, not just fast hands, fast feet. I think the footwork's confusing Wardley. But he's better when he's the stalker. Trying to counter punch here against Huni is not working for him at the minute.
Look at that, the power shots through 4 rounds. He's thrown 10 more, Huni, than Wardley has, and Wardley's the one with a big punching power in this contest.
Tries the uppercut, Wardley. It's almost like every fight he's learning more, Fabio Wardley, because of the lack of amateur experience. 4 white collar fights, Darren. It's extraordinary.
I mean, remarkable. As Barry said in the build-up here, on the ring walk, he's sold this, he's created this, a white collar fighter. But yeah, learning on the job still, but this is really good work from Justis Huni, working the body well, going back upstairs, the variation on point, the speed, and then the defence afterwards, class.
And that feint with the jab there and close with the left foot was lovely, really well disguised there from Huni, showing his intelligence here at the minute.
Cracking jab, they exchange body shots, but more from Huni. And Eddie Hearn was saying beforehand, they've just got the better fighter, and they might do. Wardley with work to do.
You know at any second of any round, or for every round rather, Wardley's dangerous. He can switch your lights off in a split second.
He's got that in his locker, he knows it. And he tries a right hand there. But Huni keeping close when he needs to, and going back to work, and a lovely right hand from Justis Huni. And he's in a real war here, and he's loving it.
He is, and he's really sinking in the body shots, Adam, really turning the hip and the waist into the shot.
And at the distance of boxing, because he's an elite puncher, he's getting there first, even with the hooks and the straight punches, because he's more compact.
Yep.
So you got to get it longer here, Wardley, and wing the punches in like he only knows how to.
Justis Huni at 26 already giving the performance of his life. A long way from home at 5 weeks' notice. Fabio Wardley trying to chip away at the body, but Huni at the moment knows more.
Compact shots inside. The right uppercut, the left hook, class.
It's not been a slow start from Fabio Wardley. He's had success, but Justis Huni has been right on it.
Well, we were praising how Wardley dragged you into his fight. Certainly I was. So Huni's made it his fight. It's been at his tempo, and he's pushing Wardley back. So Wardley has to be offensive. That's the only way he knows how to be effective. It's the only way he can win the fight is being effective and punching long. His mid-range, short range is all in Huni's favour.
Carl, I know the first round was close on your card. How are you seeing it now?
I have Huni 3-2 up now. He's boxing really well here at the minute, and I get the impression that Fabio's feeling a little bit sorry for himself. He keeps leaning down to try to avoid Huni's shots, but Fabio's leaning to his own right side with a low right hand and walking in the left hook. He keeps doing it. He hasn't changed it yet, and maybe that's the inexperience, but I think Huni's boxing very, very well at this stage.
Just a reminder, though, the general feel was that if Wardley was to win this, he may do it coming from behind.
But I would say, Darren, but we thought, it's lovely from Huni there, we thought that Huni would be busting a gut to be winning those rounds, and I'm not quite sure he is.
I don't think he is. I think he's boxing beautifully here. Justis Huni. Fabio Wardley needs success just to derail, trying to get that confidence seeping out of Huni. Remind him where he is, at Ipswich, in his territory. But Huni, light on his feet and boxing so well.
Needs to follow that jab to the body with a right hand upstairs, Wardley. But he does look tired, doesn't he? Just sort of leaning on Huni there.
And again, just a reflex of the Huni, and I think Wardley's noticed that. That's why he's a little bit tender to let his hands go, because he knows, like we said at the start of the fight, if he makes a mistake, Huni will jump on him. And I think he's felt that a few times, so he's just not letting his hands go as freely and as wildly as he quite would. His rawness was his sort of his superpower, wasn't it? Really. His unconventional approach helped him, and at the minute it's not quite there. And Huni's boxing fantastic.
I'll tell you what, he really has learned bundles, Huni, from that Lorena fight. He's come on so much, he really has. The speed of foot, the reactions are a lot sharper.
There's a big smile on the face of Eddie Hearn, and Frank Warren looks worried because they know boxing, and Justis Huni is performing here. Another right hand, and he's relaxed, and before he goes for the uppercut, he needs something to detonate on Huni and stop the rhythm that the Australian has got into here. Halfway stage coming up, Huni.
Inside there, really rallying and getting behind his charge.
Eddie reminding us all what happened when Baby Miller pulled out of the Joshua fight, and Andy Ruiz came in at 5 weeks' notice and beat his man, and this is what he feels is going to happen tonight. Baby Miller out, Justis Huni taking the chance. Hats off to both of them for making this match, because it's a really good one. But Huni is the one in control.
Yeah, boxing nicely, staying switched on, composed, dominating again from the centre of the ring. Good defensive skills, obviously offensively on point. Lovely jab there, working the body so well. Look how quick that is, double jab right hand again.
2 right hands from Justis Huni. Fabio Wardley open, but comes back with body shots. He's so tight and hard. And listen to the fans of Bournemouth Road trying to rally their man.
I tell you what, though, Wardley's pushing. He's not throwing his punches, Wardley's pushing his punches out. He's not the same acceleration in his work. I think a gum shield's out.
A momentary respite, and Frank Warren talking to Fabio Wardley. Throw that right hand. He needs something to happen, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He needs to roll the dice now. He needs to let the shots go. Commit to the shots. We've been speaking about it since this fight was announced. Whenever Fabio Wardley fights, that he really puts everything into the shots. He needs to do that now. He needs to find something and get a good shot from Huni.
He's hurt here. Fabio just has to hold on. Justis Huni, a minute and a half into the 7th.
Just walked onto a jab there, didn't he?
Yeah, and a mark under the left eye. It's just a case of Huni knowing more, the pedigree, but the way he's delivering it with the confidence tonight, almost a swagger in the Huni work.
And also, we had questions about Huni's chin, but it hasn't been a question because I don't think Wardley's landing a real solid shot on the chin.
Lovely jab, beautiful work again from Justis Huni.
It's the speed. He just can't see the shots coming, Fabio.
And also, you're talking, like, because Fabio hasn't got that grounding to fall back on, that the double jab closes the distance, but he's not used to doing that, so he hasn't learned that really. He turned so very late, so it's going to be difficult for him to adjust here.
Quick right hands from Huni. Body shot back from Wardley, but he just eats up another. And Fabio Wardley, and he's beginning to get into some trouble here. 20 seconds left in the 7th.
Yeah, he looks jaded, he looks hurt. And this is menacing, the way he's just creeping forward with such confidence, Huni.
Dominating here, isn't he? Let's be honest.
Absolutely. He's been brilliant, Justis Huni. Fabio Wardley showing a good chin as always. But he's just chipping away Huni. Outclassing Fabio Wardley tonight. He's been absolutely superb.
Starting to see that skill shine through now.
Played rugby league when he was a kid. Turned to boxing at about the age of 8. He's 26 now, Justis Huni. 18 years in the sport. Fabio Wardley's had just 8. Maybe that's the difference. The pedigree and the amateur experience. But as a pro, he's showing us his best ever performance.
And this is heavyweight boxing, so no one's ever out of the woods until the last bell rings up. He's working there.
Body shots from Huni, who's got 7 knockouts in his 12 wins. Wardley swinging from the hip.
But not with the same conviction. This is the first fight I've ever seen Wardley not throw with conviction. And that's Huni's done that with the footwork. I'm convinced with it.
Yeah, because every time he's missed Wardley, he's been made to pay. Every single time. And that sort of prevents you from really committing to the shot.
But it makes you overthink that, doesn't it?
It does, yeah, exactly that.
We've had upsets galore recently, live on the zone in the main events. Echo Esserman turning over Josh Taylor, Dave Allen beating Johnny Fisher. Will Justis Huni come into Ipswich and take care of Fabio Wardley? But this is what we love to see, fights we don't know which way they're going to swing.
Yeah.
Tell you what, you wouldn't take a fight now unless you're the underdog. Good right hand there from Huni again, just chopped down with that short right hand. And I think he's exhausted here as well, Wardley, and usually that's what puts him in a dangerous mode, but I think here right now he's pushing the punches out, he's not punching with authority, not committing like he usually does.
I think a real stiff jab to the body followed by a right hand upstairs could close this show for Huni, you know.
Just holding on here, Fabio Wardley. How much is in the tank? He trained so hard. He wanted this night so badly, and he'll do everything in his power to try and find something. But Justis Huni has got into his groove here. Good defense, quick hands, and he's the one that's hurting Wardley, and again.
And just that judgment of distance that you learn over time as well, that sort of thing, from an amateur background, it's showing here tonight.
Big left hand and a right. Raining punches in now, Justis Huni. And you're saying he's enjoying it. I think he's absolutely loving it in there.
He disguises almost every big attack and effective attack he has, he disguises before he throws it. And I think that's really what's confusing Fabio Wardley here.
Spencer Brown and Eddie Hearn are flanking Frank Warren, who sat in the middle. and the two boys either side of him are clapping their man.
Huni boxing the fight of his life here.
And it's fight number 13. It's not unlucky at the moment for Team Huni, protecting his unbeaten record and putting a statement out maybe to the other heavyweights that he's one to really watch out for. Let's bring Carl back in. How are you seeing things now? Surely Huni is forging ahead.
Yeah, Huni went well in front now. There's my scorecard, 78-74. It's hard to even see unless Fabio lands something big. It's hard to see him even winning a round. This fight's becoming very, very easy for Justis Huni. And a lot of it's down to the experience and everything else, but Barry's mentioned it, we're not seeing the same kind of commitment to the shots from Fabio, but without doing Fabio a disservice, that's Justis. That's his amateur experience and the pedigree and the years of training and knowing how to fight properly. But he's in control here and really, really enjoying himself.
He is indeed Justis Huni, Carl, but do you think Fabio might have been just a little bit deterred by he was preparing for Big Baby Miller as he tries to whip in another uppercut, different styles?
I'm not sure, because he approaches all the fights the same, you know, try and detonate the big shots and close the show in dramatic fashion. I just think it's the class of Huni that has completely frustrated Fabio Wardley and stopped him from committing and landing, well, not even landing, throwing the heavy shots. The kind of fear of getting countered with something classy.
Yeah, all Huni's done by the movement and the shot selection and making, and again, when Wardley's made a mistake, he's made him pay. That makes you think more than you used to. And with that, you get tired and you get tentative and you don't commit to your shots, and that's what's happened here, that's all. I mean, it doesn't matter what else. Look what Wardley's done here. Look at the crowds come out for him.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's an amazing tale. And it's brilliant that Ipswich have come out 20,000 here for a former white-collar boxer who's done wonderful things. He's a great guy, Fabio Wardley, out of the ring tonight. At the moment, he's struggling, and he's struggling against a guy who's got that pedigree, got that quality. He's just been boxing for longer, and he's outclassing him.
Yeah, he's just going through the gears ever so slightly, picking the shots ahead and body, just getting the first and last say of the arguments.
Yeah, frustration there from Wardley with the shoulder.
Good shot, lovely uppercut there from Huni. Great shot. I mean, late notice coming the other side of the wall against this crowd, and he's boxed fantastic.
I tell you what, Barry, when it came to the press conference, and Darren and I were here, he was so confident. He was like, no problem, doesn't matter where it is. It's a ring, and I'll show him I'm better. And he is. But it's not over. It's heavyweight boxing.
But the corner keeping him on his toes there, Huni, aren't they? They know he's winning the fight, but they're going, listen, you've got to win these rounds, you've got to stay on him, stay on him. That's good cornering, that is.
Yeah, very good.
Except that they didn't win the gum shield in his mouth, so it's terrible cornering.
Terrible.
Terrible.
But good. Fabio Wardley out of that blue corner, the Ipswich home corner, and Frank Warren was in there just to talk to him. He's got 9 minutes to find something from somewhere. And remember, he's got 17 knockouts on the record. So don't write him off just yet. But he's losing this, and he's losing it big.
Yeah, and look, you can understand why Frank Warren's in the corner there. This could be a massive missed opportunity for Fabio Wardley. Look at the people that turned out. You put on a good display here, you get the win. This only grows.
But I tell you what, he has the power, though. It doesn't look likely the way he's boxed so far. He's just come out against a good fighter, that's all that's happened. But if he lands with a shot, the adrenaline rush he'll get and the onslaught that he'll throw, he could finish the fight.
He did land with a shot at the end of the first round, but since then he's not managed to hurt.
Again, it's the feet. He's just trying to throw a big right hook there, but he's just glided out of range so easily, Huni, and then he's straight back to the centre of the ring. That is so frustrating.
Moses Atalma, the young heavyweight heir apparent possibly, watching on from ringside. So many hovering around, waiting for a shot. Usyk and Dubois meet Joseph Parker, Ajit Kabayel. There's all sorts of heavyweight. And it just takes one shot. Can Huni get up? I don't think he's going to make it.
Like, even if you pick Justis's amateur record, he's still got way more fights than me. So I'm very much learning on the job and figuring things out, and experiences like this will set me up for the fights to come.
What a dream team this whole experience has been with Ipswich, you two.
I love it. I mean, it's brilliant. And I think what's so good as well is what Fabio said day one at the press conference. He just needs to find that one punch, that one moment, and he certainly did that.
Yeah, look, again, huge thank you to Frank, Queensbury, everyone around, George as well, because when we first sat down together, one thing I put at the top of my list was doing Portman Roads. Telling Frank I could pack this place out, I could bring the crowd in and just believe in me and let me pull it off, and he gave me every faith. He's very much delivered on that, and I hope I've returned the favour a little bit.
Just watch this, the pure emotion.
Moses.
I mean, yeah, as I said, you can't write this sort of stuff, Fabio.
No.
What next? A break?
Maybe.
Yeah, literally, I say lay down and rest, and I've got a baby due in a week, so yeah, maybe a couple of nights of chilling out, relaxing, and then daddy duties, and then back on the phone to the team, and we keep it moving.
Just before I let you go, I've got to ask you, because look, I gave you a couple of rounds, he was dominating the fight. How did you do that?
Yeah, look, just always believe. Like, I know that I can pull it out of the bag, and look, I don't want to, I don't have to every time. Like, it's not a great skill, but one thing I said in the build-up as well, he might be a great boxer, but I'm a great fighter, and I know how to win. I know how to find a way and pull it out of the bag.
Well, anyone who gets in the ring with him has to be alert for every second.
Well, you know it. I mean, he's on it. He's a dangerous man. There's no two ways about that. And how many guys have found that out fighting him? But to do it how he did it, it was dramatic. It was unbelievable.
Fabio, just before I let you go, send a message to all these people that came out for you tonight.
Yeah, look, from the bottom of my heart, from the bottom of my soul, thank you. It takes everyone in this building for this to come off, for this night to feel as magnificent as it does and as it did. It's a special thing. There's been some great boxers throughout the years who haven't been able to pull off something like this, haven't had the opportunity. So again, massive thank you to Frank for pulling that off, and thank you to everyone that turned out.
Well, congratulations, that was one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. Believe it or not.
One of the most dramatic moments in heavyweight boxing.
In sport, I think.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Perfect.
Top man, the gladiator.